The meta is finally starting to form. So basically right here, we're on week 2 of the format of Secluded Spring, and overall, the meta's looking pretty good. I like the decks that are really out here. I'm gonna go over 6 decks, 2 of them being honorable mentions of this tournament, which do really well in the ladder. And then the other 4, the last 4 I'm gonna show you, basically were in the top 8 of the last tournament that was ran from Frog EX. Had over 300 players, so this should give you an idea what to run in Master Ball rank. And let's get to the decks. Starting off the list, we have Guzzlord EX. This deck right here is amazing. Just Guzzlord is a big body with 170 HP. 170 HP is nothing to laugh about. It is hard to beat, and if it just sits there, stacks up, it's insane. You play cards to support it like Pokemon Center Lady and potions. You know, in this case, any hits that he would take just make it more painful for your opponent to deal with. And you also play Rocky Helmet because it makes it so your opponent has to build up more energy instead of taking chip damage and then evolving and attacking. So makes your Guzzlord, you know, live a lot longer. Not even that, they just get punished in general, and Tyrannical Hole just becomes a free kill for most scenarios. Now we have Celesteela at 1. The only reason we're running Celesteela at 1 now is because we need to deal with the Oricorio. Without an out to deal with Oricorio, this deck is kind of useless. But that being said, you know, you play the standard Lucamines, Professor's Research, Cyrus, Mars, Sabrina, Red, Pokeballs, and Rocky Helmet Potion. But the card I skipped over is Will. Will is amazing. This card right here is what makes your deck just go off. So basically in this deck, you make this, take the energy away from any Pokemon that's in the front, and if it happens to be Suicune, it's a free kill. It ends up being a free kill. And then you got cards to pull it back in with Cyrus or Sabrina. So, you know, the strategy is very valid, and honestly has a super high win rate against Suicune. Next up, we have Flareon EX. So this deck right here is really strong, and basically Flareon EX is just insane because it does 130 damage, and we're playing 2 reds. So basically the reason this stacks up well against the whole Suicune matchup is because you could build up 140 damage easily with EV Bag, and not only that, you could also go up to 160 with Red and EV Bag. So here, you know, it's a standard build. You have Magby, the EV line, and Baby Flareon to deal with the Oricorios. And not only that, even if they take away your Baby Magby and get a point off that, you could play the Baby Flareon while you have the Flareon EX in the bench and just deal 110 damage for free. Not only that, this thing can also do 130 damage. I have scenarios where I hit Giratina and it just KOs Giratina with Red. But it stacks up, we're talking about Suicune right now, and the Suicune matchup is just like amazing. They put all their energy, eggs in one basket, and you just burn them up with Flareon EX. And then yeah, you run the 2 Red, 2 Oak, 1 Sabrina, and 2 Pokeball. You already know what time it is. It's Dark Tina time. This deck right here is seeing a lot of play. It's the best, in my opinion. Well, Suicune is a little bit better, but has a good matchup against Suicune. You know, you play the 2 best EX Pokemon, and then you have a bunch of supports that the best supporters in the game. I don't know, there's not really much to say about this, but it's just really good. But other than that, so right here we have Suicune EX. There has been many variants of this deck. As a matter of fact, there are 4 decks that actually made it into the top 8, but I chose the one that was more dominant, and it's the version that is playing 1 Giratina and 1 Leaf. Basically, this deck right here, Greninja Control and Cyrus, it's just insane and it just goes off. So the main thing you want to, just build up your board and control everything with Greninja and control everything with Suicune, because just Suicune's presence makes your opponent, it puts them in a position where they can't really overextend in their bench. If not, they will be punished for it with the Crystal Waltz. And we have Giratina, for first turn build up, and our secondary attacker. It's just there to finish games, and it's one of the best cards in the game right now. You have double Irida, double Professor Oak, Cyrus, Mars, Leaf, Pokeballs, the Cape, and rare candies. Let's get into the next. Next up, we have Darkrai and Arceus EX. Right here with the baby mons. Basically, this is a ramp deck. It's gonna be dark energy mainly, because you just want to do chip damage with Darkrai, and Arceus is just there chilling, doing 130 damage. They run 2 Pichus, 2 Magbies. Doesn't matter what energies. You can put Mantike if you want it in here. Komala is in here. It's been a nice tech for Darktina in the last 2 formats. For Oricorio, it deals with Oricorio pretty well. 2 energy investment, which is kind of nothing in this deck, and then you just swing 70 real quick. And then you got 2 Leaf and 2 Red. This deck is heavy on pushing game with Darkrai and Arceus, so you want to get every advantage that you can get, and you're also putting a lot of chip damage with Darkrai, so it's really good to see more red. Then you got Professor's Research, Mars, Pokeball, Pcom, just to build your consistency, just if you have too many baby Pokemon in your hand, and then Giant Cape. Next up, we have Raikou EX. This deck is aggressive and fast. You have your draw engine, which can damage 10 on the bench. Raikou EX, Zero Aura, getting free energy, so you can use Elemental Switch to manipulate your energy on the board. Then you got Tapu Koko. It's really good against the Suicune matchup, because 1 energy, you're doing 40 damage, and then afterwards, the next turn, you're gonna do 110 damage with Mach Bolt. And then afterwards, this deck plays Pikachu EX, so you could just do 1,000,000 to whatever's on the board. It literally one-shots almost anything in the game. Basically, in that position, you're like, once you have Pikachu active, when you get any free kill with Tapu Koko or Raikou, you should be have the game in the bag. Next, you got your researches, Giovanni, Sabrina, Mars, Cyrus, Guzma, switches, Pokeball, and Electric Cord, so you can get the consistency for Pikachu EX. That's basically what you're going to be seeing in the meta and on the ladder for Master Ball rank. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.